Okay, hey folks, Steve here with a unboxing video for Root, a game of woodland might and right, game by Cole Werle, not sure. Art by Kyle Farron. I had gotten this at a convention not too long ago, and hadn't had a chance to really open it. I did take the shrink off before starting the video, but this is an unboxing video. I have not opened this up. This is a war game. It is a war game. You will hear some controversy about whether or not it is a war game, but it is a war game dealing with conflict resolution. And actually, there's probably a lot of mechanics that make it a bit like a coin game because of the way the different factions interact. The factions in the base game, and that's all I have here is the base game, though there are expansions, is that you have Marquis de Cat that will try to dominate the woods, extracting riches and policing its inhabitants. And if you're familiar with the coin games, this is probably going to end up playing very much like the counter-insurgent faction or the government faction. There's the Erie dynasties, so there's sort of a military opponent to the cats. Woodland Alliance that is looking to gather supporters and coordinate revolts. So again, if you're familiar with coin, this is probably your insurgent faction. And then you have this sort of vagabond faction that is just a little bit different and is very asymmetric, very different from some of the other factions, and could be sort of like an interloper type of faction in another coin game. So it's not an official coin system game, but it is in a way a counterinsurgency game using its own mechanisms. But again, in that way, it's sort of a war game, at least if you consider coin games war games. So I'm gonna get it flipped back over, and then I'm gonna try to get the lid off one-handed because I'm holding my phone as I record this. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay, and so looks like they provided a nice learn to play booklet, glossy, full color, providing introduction, a walkthrough. Looks like it does a good job of showing what all the components are, what all the symbols are supposed to mean, so learning shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Very cute cartoon artwork of all the woodland creatures interacting here. I like that. That's real cute. And it looks like this learning to play booklet is 23 pages long. So not too bad. It's got some scenario information, so this looks like this is just all the rules and important information you need to get going with the game. Not too bad. There is a learn to play walkthrough, so this is looking like a turn one step-by-step guiding players through controlling each of their factions, so you can kind of, learn to play an entire turn sort of programmed to see how things operate, so that probably helps some learning. And then, let's see, the Law of Root contains 2 rule books, the rules reference and the learn to play guide. Okay, so this is much like a fantasy flight game that has a learn to play book that guides you through the rules and then an actual rules reference. So you could, if there's some confusion about a rule, you would probably check this to validate the actual specific rule. Looks like it is in that sort of fantasy flight format, so that'll be useful. And these are the player cards, so they're in their own shrink wrap here. I'm probably not going to be able to crack this open one-handed, but you can see this is an example of, there's a little bit of a glare, but this is the Woodland Alliance, so it has various bits about what are the different actions you can take for the faction. You can kind of see here references to guerrilla war, so again, insurgent faction. This is a war game. It is. I had my wife offering to open the plastic on this, so I'll let her do that while we go through the rest of the components here. We have a sheet in here that's looking like just a component manifest and some guidance on rules of thumb for the rules. So that's nice, just front facing, so you probably look at this very quickly. And we've got a nice insert in here that makes it easy to grab the map out of the box. So I will set the map out for a second, and it looks like, oh gosh, it's double-sided, and I'm not sure what that is about. So for instance, it looks like a winter map, some sort of turn track or victory point track. But this is sort of a winter side. You can see trees, snow on the rooftops of these buildings, and then the river. And then if I flipped it back over, this is probably the normal side, or the fall side, it almost looks like. A little bit different. So I'm not sure the significance of the other side of the map. We'll have to look into that, but that's what the normal map looks like, with some important locations and paths between them. I think the way some of the factions are going to look to control these areas and then move along these movement lanes to the different areas of the map. And we'll set that aside. And yes, there's that Woodland Alliance card. Here's the Vagabond card. It can establish relationships with other factions and can gain some benefits through that. The cat icon. So looking to build buildings, do various things here. And then the Eerie Dynasties. And then let's see, just the rest of what's in the box here. So here are some counters. You can kind of see here representing probably buildings. There's a victory point marker. Some of these other tokens, I'm not exactly sure what they're for yet. Another sheet of counters. Looks like it's just the 2 sheets of counters, which is good. They're already rounded corners, easy to punch out. Wooden playing pieces with cute little eyes on the cats. I really like that. That's cute. Comes with empty baggies for sorting those counters. 2 12-sided dice. And then the cards here, which are in their own packaging. An ambush card. And looks like it modifies combat to some degree here. At start of battle, defender may play to deal 2 immediate hits, then discard, cancel if attacker plays a matching ambush. So obviously, these cards are probably going to come in to play to affect different things, and I'm not sure if this is different factions have their own cards or not. I'll have to look into that. I've not played the game, so this is sort of an outsider looking in. But again, the artwork's really cute. Really enjoying all of that. This will be a fun one to play with kids, I think. Just with the subject matter. So yeah, we'll have to look more into this. Again, I will defend that this game is a war game based on how it's designed, and we'll get into it at some point, maybe in the future with some other videos. So this is, once again, Root, a game of Woodland Might and Right. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.